Hello, 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 everybody. How are you guys all doing tonight? Let's do a little bit of a roll call real quick. Hobbyist Miner, thank you very much for being here. Red Llama Crypto, Jacob Burgess. I did see, oh, it's because the actual poll is covering Big Wooly. I know I saw him here earlier as well. K-Spec, my lovely wife Sunflower Mama is here as well. Punta Gorda Bob, never been there, but I've heard it's nice. TPS Miner, Integra Guy, I love that name. I know I say that all the time, but I do love that name. Ada Cielo, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Crypto Shape, thank you very much for being here. Pearl Rival, Tim, I am Crypto, thank you for being here. Yash Nick, how are you? Long time no talk. And I will talk about something. I thank you for being here. You reminded me. Red Fox Crypto, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. And Dave Mose and Slick Nick MC. Alrighty, thanks guys. Yes, I did get that that poll question from the roundtable, which is the Hobbyist Miner, Red Fox Crypto, and Chump Change. And I will just say, I am deeply offended that I was not included in that conversation, because I had done research on that about a couple of weeks ago, because I was wondering the exact same thing. And actually, you're all right, because either is correct. The research I did basically found out that it's one of those types of things that actually both are accurate. Having, to me, is the correct way to say it. That's my opinion, which is why I started researching. I'm like, it's halving. It's absolutely not halvening. Why is everybody calling it halvening? And then I learned that halvening was also an accepted way of saying it. So go figure. Anyway, so thank you for participating in the poll. I appreciate that very much. I'm going to end that poll. At least the majority of you agreed with me, and I saw Red Fox also agreed with me as well, so appreciate that. All righty, well, let's get started. I don't know how long it's going to take tonight, or if I'll just run out of gas and maybe do another stream later in the week. We shall see. But what I have on tap tonight is doing some testing with Gminer. And the process, I will show how to update the actual Nvidia driver, in case you don't know how to do that. I know a lot of you already do, but I thought I'd go through that as well, because it doesn't take too long to do. So I will do that as well, and also be able to compare if there's any difference on T-Rex of one driver versus the other. It may be too close to really be able to tell, but I'll be testing it on my mainly 3070 Ti rig, along with a few 3060 Ti's that have the Hynix memory in them. And then I'll switch over to Gminer in the new version, the new version 2.75. And so we'll go through that. And I'm sure there'll be some other breaks where we can talk about a few other things as well. So let's get started. Fred Fox Crypto, whatever Max thinks is the best way is the right way. You guys give me way, way, way too much credit. But anyway, I appreciate that. I'll take it. And actually, before I get into that, I did want to give a plug to my wife's channel. In fact, let me switch over to, I believe this is the right screen. Nope, that would be the wrong screen. That would be the right screen. The correct screen, I should say. And actually, let me change the size of this so it more matches, since I have a 1440p. I don't want, there we go. So bear with me here while I get this thing. Yeah, I had a few problems this evening. I went to go restart my computer, and it was weird when it restarted. It did not seem to go through the same process. And then once I restarted it, something was taking 88% of the processing of it, and it wasn't showing up in task manager. So I restarted it again, and now it seems to be working fine. So I don't know. I don't know what that was all about. Probably should do a virus scan or something like that, but we shall see. But anyway, so let me want to plug my wife's channel. She has been documenting her journey with ovarian cancer, through her chemo, as well as using a cold cap. So I plug this as, if you know anybody that is either going through breast cancer or ovarian cancer, and they're concerned about losing their hair, key them onto this channel. This is what my wife made this for, was so that people would have somebody's real live, experience with the product, and what it did for her, and what it didn't do for her. So anyway, if you know of anybody, certainly forward them this channel. I think it can really help some people. And anyway, I'm really proud that she did this, and wasn't easy. And some are, well, definitely I'm close to it. So some of them are a little hard to watch for me, but anyway, I'm very proud of her. And anyway, enough said about that. I'll get all mushy eyed about that. But her chemo is over. So she's feeling good. So definitely very, very happy about that as well. Oh, a link to your channel. Okay. I will put a link to her channel here. So anyway, alrighty, let's move on, because I'm sure you guys did not come here for that. So Gminer released a new version 2.75 saying major performance improvement with LHR GPUs. So we'll put that to the test tonight. Now, I'm not the first YouTuber to put this to the test, but my overclocks are much different than Crypto Donkey Miner, who, by the way, if you don't subscribe to him, he has some absolutely great content. He does a lot of great testing, and he's funny as hell. So if you have not subscribed to him or checked him out, check him out. I really enjoy his content. I got to actually do one of those unsubscribe, resubscribe, because for some reason I'm not getting notifications anymore when he puts out new content. So, which can happen to us YouTubers from time to time, where our subscribers aren't getting notifications. But anyway, so I will do that. And before we get started with that, let me show you what I'm currently getting with my 3070 Ti's. So you can see they're getting anywhere, and you know the way LHR works, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down, as it changes the power to make it, to basically, in my opinion, what they're trying to do is they're trying to mimic what a regular GPU would look like under high load when gaming. So that's, I think, why it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. So anyway, but basically it goes anywhere from 60 to 62 on these GPUs. That's why it's going to be a little difficult to see much of a difference. But because we're seeing every 30 seconds here, again, it's a little difficult to see, but you can see this one's almost at 62. This one's almost at 62. So anyway, doing well. And then these are 43.4, 43.3, that range. So the other thing is I was, before I had to restart the computer. Let me, so I am remoted in, so MOTD watch. I know I could just click miner, but I like the screen a little bit better. So we'll be able to see more real time what's happening with the overall hash rate. And I think that's probably going to be a better test, is to look at what the overall hash rate is and what it goes between. And so we'll test actually this on a newer Nvidia driver first to see if we get any benefit from it. So, just remember basically 449 to 456. That's basically what we're going to be around. So I'm actually going to write that down. And let's see if we get any better by updating And before I do that, because I'm going to want to specifically update to a specific driver. So right now I'm on 470.94. Now, if you've never done, interesting, and I don't have it up. I thought I had it up here. So let me open up a new thing. Nvidia drivers Linux. And let's go here. That's not what I wanted. I think this is it. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So there's two different lines of drivers for 30 series and Linux. There's the production branch and the new feature branch. I tend to go with the production branch, which basically has fewer releases. The new feature branch is constantly trying to keep up with games and things like that. But for mining, I don't necessarily think that's really what's necessary. So I don't know. I stay with the production branch, fewer releases to keep up with. So we do a search on that and it comes up with 470.94. Now, what's interesting is I believe these two lines, production and new feature brand, come together every so often. So this is 470.94. And again, it came out on 12/13 of last year. Now, if you look at the new feature branch, guess what? It came out on the same day. I'm kind of thinking these are basically the same thing. I'm not going to test against either of them, but yesterday when I was actually updating my new Octominer, 495.46 would not load. So that's when I switched over to the production branch and things worked. So I'm going to stay away from that one. This actually is the one the Crypto Donkey Miner used. I think they're probably very similar. That's what I'm thinking. If you have any differing opinions on it, let me know in the chat. I'll check with that in just a moment. Let me get this going. So again, 470.94 is what I am looking for. So go back over here. And that's all you do. So you SSH into your rig, get to the command line, then NVIDIA driver update 470.94. And you can see it has a lot of the common commands given there for you, which is great. I love that fact that Hive does that. And this will take a little while. It doesn't take too long. But let me check the chat while we're waiting for that. Okay, so let me see. Okay, word is law, LOL. Okay, I'm not sure. I'm just basically looking at the ones where I was tagged. So, oh, I see. You're having a discussion about having and having. Oh, thank you very much, Jacob. I appreciate that very much. And have you seen or heard if when HiveOS was releasing drivers for the RX 6500 XT? Nope, have not heard that at all. It wouldn't be a specific driver just for those. It would just be the fact that it would be included in the current driver. So there would be some sort of core update, because if you notice with the AMD drivers, those drivers are included in any of the kernel updates of HiveOS. Those are the only times that they actually update the AMD driver. They recommend not attempting to update the AMD drivers on your own. They're saying, I guess it's possible, but not a good idea. So anyway, all right. And let's see. Okay, so sorry, I was actually making Red Fox a moderator. All right, so then Pearl Rival, Red Fox, why do these cards not get hot? 6 times memory should be super hot. If you're talking about the 3070 Ti's, I don't know. They don't get super hot. I think I've seen Red Fox's videos where the memory is staying reasonable. Now I run mine like super high speeds, like over 3000 on Hive. So I don't know. Your mileage may vary. These seem to be nice, good cards for that. But Big Vic, Max, with the move to 2 miners, are the payouts higher or lower than NiceHash? I think you mentioned your daughter made the switch. In my, from what she's seeing, they're higher. But again, there's so many other variables that it's so hard to say, oh gosh, it's absolutely higher right now, because when you take 2 different points in time and say one is better than the other, well, the environment that they're around on that particular day is different. Luck is different. So to say that her payouts are better, I can't scientifically say that her payouts are better because the tests weren't done at the same time. The reason why I'm saying that I think it's better is because of the business structure of NiceHash. They have to take a bigger cut in order to make money because they are selling rented hash rate. So nobody's going to rent hash rate if they think they're going to be breaking even or losing money. So they have to make money a little bit. And then of course, NiceHash has to make money a little bit. So where a pool is only taking a 1% fee off the top of whatever the going hash is going to get you. So anyway, that's so again, don't have any scientific, but from just looking at it, yeah, it does appear that her payouts have gotten better. Alrighty. Okay. Installation successful. Restarting, I believe. Starting services. All right. So let's go back to MOTD watch. Let's see if, oh, interesting. That's not good. Is your Nvidia driver installed? Yes. Yes, it is. I'm thinking I need to restart. All right. Let me restart my miner. Reboot. And let's hope that looks a heck of a lot better than that when it comes back up. Otherwise, I'll be going back to that other driver. All right, let me see if I missed anything else. Oh, geez, chump change. Thank you very much for the $49.99. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I went right. No, I guess I hadn't gone right past that, or didn't mean to go right past it. But anyway, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. It is totally not necessary. Anyway, but yes, it is nice to be monetized. Need to put out some more content. Hopefully, in the next couple weeks, I'll be carving out some time because I definitely have some ideas for some videos, and I've been trying to cram a lot of those ideas into Mondays. But anyway, well, I'm waiting for this thing to reboot, which at this point is kind of making me think I may need to, well, no, came back up. Come on. That's interesting. Kind of seems to be stuck. I've never seen it stop there before. Usually it gives me everything else. All right, let's try doing a refresh and a reload and see if that changes anything. Nope. Very interesting. Anybody else seen that happen? I may have to go downstairs and do a... It's saying offline, NV tool error. Wow, it is not liking this driver at all. Not at all. Ah. Well, I'm going to have to go back to the other driver if I can remember what the heck it was. Anybody remember what the other driver was? Was it 470.74? Let me try doing this. Okay, thank you, Crypto Dave. All right, let me try doing this. I'm going to shut down and boot in 30 seconds. See if that gives me a different result. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go back to the other one. Now, it says offline, but I know it's not because it's allowing me to log into it. So hopefully, see, that's even a little bit further. This is NV tool error. Huh. Very strange. Continues to give me those errors. That's going to give it to me for every single GPU. Well, let's see. Hopefully it, let me see if I do a Control C. Yep, there we go. Now let me see if I can resend that reboot message and see if it does it. Anyway, alrighty. Well, let me get back to the chat here. Oh, Baldini, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Yeah, I did actually reboot ABNS production. That was exactly what I did after the first issues I was having. But this time I did it like with a 30-second time. So I'll give that a moment. And I thought my Hive OS was amazing. Well, it is, but it may not like this driver for whatever reason. Again, K-Spec, I appreciate you confirming what Crypto Dave said as well. Thank you, Galo Salame. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Diesel 846, Mike Gar, Slick. I already said Slick Nick earlier. But anyway, thanks guys for coming. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna let this thing do its thing for a little bit. We'll come back to this. And I'm gonna jump around here. And I am going to go to the hourly electric rate. So this has been a real key for me in helping increase my profits from mining. And here's an example of days that are more profitable than others. So this was January 23rd, just yesterday. And you'll notice that my supply is less than zero, meaning that from a supply perspective, not a net, but a supply perspective, the utility is paying me to use their power. And you might say, well, why would they be doing that? Well, the reason why they're doing that is because utilities benefit from having just stable power. If they knew they needed to put out 1 terawatt consistently all the time, and that's all they needed to do, they could do that very efficiently. The problem is the changes in demand and having an infrastructure that can meet those changes in demand, adjust to those changes in demand. And that's extremely challenging. So they can do it to a certain extent, but when it gets to a point where there's such a big difference between when the power, the different times of day when the power is not being used and the power is being used. Well, that normally happens in the winter, especially in this area where we have a lot of natural gas heat, not electric heat. So at night, people aren't using any electricity because the only electricity is their furnace using their natural gas heat. And so the daytime, there's a lot bigger spike. So they have a much bigger delta in what actual electricity is being used. So in the winter, you'll see this quite a bit, except when it gets really cold and then there's just high demand and the high cost. It's generally high cost. So if you start getting into like -10 Fahrenheit, over a big portion of the country, big northern portion of the country, then yeah, the price of electricity will skyrocket. And then you're talking, 15, 20, 25 cents during those periods of time on average. But overall, I save money. So this is just one example where, and this is like not a normal example. It's just one example of something that happened just yesterday, but it does happen. It's not like super rare. It's somewhat rare. Certainly really rare that it goes down as low as minus 3.3. It might get between -1 and 0 fairly often. But anyway, so if we look at overall though, so I've had this for 90 bills. So 90 months I've had this program and I've saved $1,636.87. You're like, well, that doesn't really seem like much, but it's 24% of my supply is what I've saved on this program. But since I've been mining, I save a lot more. So like the latest bill, I mean, you look at this one, you're like, oh yeah, over 90, that's not that big. But now I'm mining a lot more. So my savings are a lot bigger. So this month alone, from November 30th through January 3rd, I saved almost $200 on my electricity. That doesn't even take into account the fact that I got solar on the roof. So again, saving money through that as well. So anyway, you guys have heard me talk about it. And if you, when I'm on other channels and things, I've mentioned it. This is the reason why I talk about it so much, is because it sounds scary. Like, I don't know what my cost of electricity is going to be. But when you look at it over time, it does really, really well. And like I said, the numbers prove it out time and time again. Have I had months where I've paid more with this program? Yes, I've had a few months where I've paid more. But again, it's about the overall averages. Are you saving more, way more months than the 1 or 2 months that you're not saving? So if you have this program in your part of the country, I would look into it. I started to look into trying to figure out, well, without looking into each individual utility to see if they had it, it would be really difficult for me to try to do that everywhere. What I did do is, yes, there are other parts of the country that do have time of use programs, but what you're specifically looking for is market based. So this is based on, shoot, I had this chart up before, but there are different markets across the country. This one is based, and I know it starts with Pennsylvania, and I can't think of what the other initials in the abbreviation are, but there are different electric markets across the country. So like in Illinois, we're split up. So like Crypto Shaped is on a very similar program, but he's in a different market. So his pricing is different than mine. His may be better at some points. Mine may be better at some points, because our pricing is based on different parts of the country and what is, what our particular parts of the country are doing at that time from a weather perspective, from a sun perspective, lots of different things. So anyway, I wanted to bring that up because like I said, I've brought it up a number of times. And like I said, you can see like just this past one, I was actually really surprised. I didn't think I was going to be saving anywhere near that amount. What I am very curious about, because I've had a couple of times where I have seen this happen in the early morning. I'm really curious to see what my bill is in January. I have a feeling it's going to be even better in January. So definitely looking forward. I mean, think about it. I'm looking forward to my electric bill. Anyway, go figure. Anyway, so anyway, just something to look at. If you do find that you have this in your part of the country, please add it into the comments after the video, so that other people can use that to try to figure out if they have this in their part of the country. So, okay. Let me see if I can catch up on a few things here. I saw something about what's the name of the website, and I don't know what Crypto Dave is effectively talking about. So if you do have questions for me, please tag me. All right, nerd herd. Yes, I nerd out on this kind of thing. Jump change. Yes, I do. Anyway, let me see. What else was I? Well, here, let me go back and see if this ever came back up. And guess what? It didn't. Dang it. That means I need to go back to, and it didn't even reboot. And you know what? I'm not even going to try because I remember having problems trying to update up to a certain driver. So I'm just going to put this one back. Nvidia driver update 470.74. That was the one, right? Yeah, because I'm on 470.94. Yep. Okay. All right, let's go back. I shouldn't even have to download it since it already exists. All righty. Hopefully that comes back good. And then I can just go ahead and test the Gminer. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was SundaeSwap and Cardano. And I talked a little bit about this last week, but if you were thinking about doing it, round one, the entry into round one to be eligible for these airdrops is January 25th at 21:45 UTC. So early to late afternoon in the United States and Canada. So the only additional information I found out since I talked about this last week is the fact that each one of the drops is going to be 20 million Sunday. That's all I know. How are they going to distribute it? I have been searching, probably spent about an hour in total trying to search for a tweet, a website, something that said how they're going to distribute the Sunday that, from your staking of Cardano. And then the other key thing is making sure that you are doing it in a certified ISO pool. And ISO stands for Initial Stake Pool Offering. So anyway, it has to be in one of these pools. I happen to like Crypto Capital Venture as a YouTube channel, so I was supporting one of their pools. I happen to be in pool 5 because that was the only one I could get into at the time of his pools. So at any rate, go check out his channel. He does a really great channel. Yes, he does have clickbait titles, but lots of successful YouTubers have clickbait titles. The content of his videos are great. I love his technical analysis. Very much helps as far as finding trigger points on both the upside and the downside, and is very upfront about how he does things. So definitely appreciate his content. So anyway, if you are going to do it, this is a reminder. And if you're asking, well, how the heck do I do it? It is through Yori Wallet, which I only happen to have on my phone. And once you get your Cardano into the wallet, so it's spelled YOROI. It's one of the two official wallets for Cardano. Once you have it in the Cardano wallet, then there are plenty of videos that will walk you through exactly how to stake it once you're in the wallet. But yeah, you can stake it there, and then you'll also be able to see your rewards there. One thing to keep in mind though is once you stake Cardano, it takes 3 epochs before you start earning. So an epochs are 5 days each. So basically 15 days of nothing, and then 5 days later, you'll start earning along with everybody else. So I actually like that because you're not going to get this constant in and out of people pulling in and out and putting money in and taking money out. So definitely, I'm very curious to see what happens. One other thing I also wanted to mention was I know that some of the exchanges have started to offer Cardano staking. I know Bittrex has said that their returns are up to 5.5%, which is really good return on Cardano since most of the staking pools I've seen are less than 5%. So I was staking over there and they say that they will average out the rewards, but I've been staking there for over a month and I haven't seen any return. So kind of confused as to why I haven't seen anything. I haven't gone back to them and said, hey, what's going on here? But once I have more information on that, I'll report back. Oh, hey, Serpent X, appreciate you showing up. Appreciate it. You take care as well. Let's see who else may have arrived. Oh, my daughter, Atomic Star, is here. Okay, now I gotta. It's impossible to get kidnapped in this day and age. It's impossible to go missing in a first world country with technology. Rolling eyes. Not really sure where that came from, but anyway. And oh wow, that's interesting. Somebody mentioned the other day. I was Chump Change mentioned the other day that I guess it's maybe YouTube has made a change that if you're watching this, you can see who the mods are, probably because their name is blue and the wrench is blue. But me as the person doing the stream, only the wrench is there. That's it. That's the only thing that's blue. Anyway, very interesting. Because I was about, oh, why isn't she a mod? And then realized she was, but I didn't see that because her name wasn't blue. Anyway, alrighty. Okay. All right, let's see what our status. Okay, we're at least back up and running, but holy cow, what is going on here? All right, well, you know what? Let's go back and do a restart now that that has taken into effect. Yeah, driver installation successful. All right, so let's do a restart. Because, wow, that temperature. All right. Oh, thank you, Some Goblin Loser. Appreciate the $1. Very much appreciate it. Oh, that's what my computers and society professor said in class today. Yeah, that's where you just smile and keep your mouth shut when you disagree with your professor, because arguing with your professor will probably get you nowhere. Unless, of course, he was trying to trigger everybody and wanted to see who was willing to stand up to him, but who knows? Anyway, all right, well, let's see. I may have to spend some time on this rig because, boy, has it gone to crap. You know, nothing is showing up as it should. So hopefully when it reboots, we will get past this. Otherwise, I'll have to do some serious troubleshooting on this rig. Alrighty, well, moving right along, since my main subject doesn't seem to be panning out at this point. Oh, one of the other things I'm doing is I mentioned earlier that I did get an Octominer, and this is the current state of my farm. So there used to be right here, if you can see that my pointer, behind where this rack was, or actually about where this rack was where I had an 8 GPU rig that was on a rack just like these other two small ones on the left were. And so I took 4 cards out of the one just to the left and took the 8 cards out of the one that was there and stuck them into the Octominer. Why, did you see that? Oh, okay. Anyway, I will get to that in just a moment. Let me finish my thought. Anyway, so now I've got 12 down there. And so what I'm going to be doing is this next shelf up is going to have the one that's in the rig frame, in the sluice. And that will go on this shelf. Also on the lower frame down here, there's also a CPU miner that I'm hopefully going to be able to fit next to the sluice frame. That's at least the plan. So I haven't really done full measurements, but I'm going to see if I can make that work. And then up here, I plan on putting, this shelf will be here, and then I'm going to put another shelf directly above it, because between them, I am thinking I'm going to want to put box fans blowing straight up. I had asked that question to Chump Change to see how that was working. I want to see how that will work. I think it will work pretty well blowing directly up into, which I will have up here, is I will have hanging cards, but I'll also have at least 5 maybe 6 cards that will be on these vertical holders. So I'll have some hanging and some in the vertical, and have the fans blowing up on it. And then of course I've got the window fan that my lovely wife made. So anyway, that is the plan. I was hoping I'd get a lot further on it this weekend, but I did not. So it is what it is. Pocket Change, thank you so much. Had to pay $20 for you to say hi to me. Did you tag me though? If you tagged me, I would have said hi anyway. Just kidding. Congrats on monetizing. Keep up the hard work. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Definitely. I look forward to Saturday nights, but I almost look forward to Monday nights now. Almost, because Monday's just, you know, it's Monday. First day back to work. Yeah. But you know, it rhymed. I had to pick Monday. Plus it was one of the only nights left. What are you going to do? Anyway. All right. Let me see if there's any other tags. Raheem. Hi, Max Voltage. I'm broke. Yeah, we've all been there. Well, maybe not everybody, but yeah, I've been there. Worked my way out of it. But yeah, well, good luck with that. And hopefully you can turn it around. Hopefully, working with crypto, hopefully will help. Definitely a good time to get in to getting additional crypto because of where we are in the market right now. At least that's my opinion. Alrighty. And oh, that was the Nvidia driver. Let's see. Did I miss talking about anything other than, let's see if this came back. Yes, look at that. Now we're kind of back to normal. I like that. Everything seems to be about where it was before. These seem a little bit lower, but let's actually check here. Yeah, that looks pretty much where it was. All right, well, let's see what happens when we change to Gminer. Changing the flight sheet to Gminer. And I always want to specify it because I don't trust it to pick the right one. I don't think I have to pick any other because I'm using all devices. I don't think there was anything I needed to do. Well, we're just going, a kernel one would be good. Well, hopefully it'll pick kernel 4. So we're just going to, I didn't actually change anything, so we're going to cancel there. We are going to do update. And we'll, just to be on the safe side, we'll do create new flight sheet. I'm going to make it easier for us to go back. All right, I'm going to do a refresh because I want to get rid of that reboot message. Go back to here. Let's go back to here, and now it's downloading Gminer. Why did it say installing Gminer 2.72 when I asked for 2.75? That, oh, because see, this is what happens when you say the latest. It doesn't pick the right thing. You see how I said cancel because I didn't think I needed to say, and I didn't make any changes, but I did need to change to 2.75. Well, hey, we're here. So let's take a look to see what it ends up being on 2.72. I'm guessing a lot worse, or at least nowhere near what it should be. Oh, Crypto Dave, when does YouTube let you have members for your channel? They do let me do that now. I didn't want to just do it because I could. I wanted to figure out something that would add value as opposed to just saying, hey, look, I'll give you a bunch of icons. So I'm giving that some thought as far, but I want to, like I said, I want to make sure that I'm adding some additional value to my members. So anyway, but that will be coming probably within the next month. But like I said, want to make sure that I got a plan for that. Alrighty, so let's see where we're at. Actually, it looks pretty similar. 448. Yeah, it's a little bit lower because I was at 449 to 456 is where I was before. So let's see the next go around. Let's see where it shows. Yeah, 444. So this is about 5 mega hash worse. You know, again, you can get an idea of what the range is going to be. So let me redo that with the right version. This is exactly the reason why I want to specify which one, because it never picks the right one, especially when it's a brand new version. But what's weird is, I mean, it was like way down here. There's been 2 other versions since, and then the latest one. Why would it pick 2.72? I have no idea. So anyway, let's apply that change. Update. No, we're going to go all workers. Alrighty. Anyway, I hear my wife chuckling in the other room, and I'm sitting here scanning the chat to see what the heck she's chuckling about. Anyway, all right. Well, let's go back to here, and it is now on 2.75, and let's see where we get. I'm glad you guys are enjoying my the banter in the chat. I guess I need to watch what my oh, something about don't know if she can get a C in school, and my daughter says, "Bet I can do it. Watch me." At this point in your school career, C is for degree. Absolutely at this point, because you already have a job. But I know. Anyway, alrighty, well, let's see where we're at so far as it builds up. It's the first go around. I won't count that one against it. Let's see here. I live to entertain. Yes, my daughter, love her to death. Alrighty, 440. Oh, this is not looking good. 448.72. Maybe it's still building up. T-Rex still looks better to me. Give it one more go around, and then heck, I'm heading back to T-Rex. Alrighty, well, while we're watching this, which some people may think is like watching paint dry, but oh, hey, Y2K Anonymous, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Well, right now we're watching how how not to do things. Anyway, I tried upgrading to 470.94 Nvidia driver, and my 3070 Ti rig did not like it at all. And in thinking about it now, I think I tried doing that once before and it didn't like it. But anyway, and a very similar driver, the feature version that came out on the same day, my Octominer would not even accept that driver at all. So, all right, so we're at 445. Yeah, I will call that a big fail on Gminer. It looks like it didn't really improve things much at all. Now, maybe it's just a matter of I need to restart. I wouldn't think so when you change from miner. It's when you change overclocks. But yeah. I mean, I do like Gminer and the fact that the way that they have their readouts, there's a lot of information every 30 seconds, which I think is very, very handy. And I guess I could let it go because you can see it's already started to increase the 3060 Ti's, but it hasn't tried to increase the 3070 Ti's yet. And T-Rex actually starts out at 74 instead of 73. Oh, we'll let that run for a while. We know what the other one is. Alrighty. Y2K Anonymous, are they Zotacs? My 3070 Ti Zotacs are poops, to say it nicely. No, these are actually all EVGA 3070 Ti's. I've got 3 for the Win 3s and I've got 3 XC3s. Obtained them all through the Q system. So different people of the family all had their own accounts. So, and they were gracious enough to let me buy through their accounts. So definitely worked out well. Any other questions while we watch this? Oh, I went through all those topics a lot faster than I thought I was going to. So I won't ramble on and waste everybody's time this morning. Yes, Seb. Yeah, I wasn't able to load 495.46, and Crypto Donkey Miner did a test and said, yeah, it does make a difference. It's not a huge difference, but it is a difference. So I don't know why that would be any different. Like I said, I tried to load that one on the Octominer. It failed. I could not get it to load. The 470.94 it came out on the same day. It's the production driver versus the new feature driver. But they usually come together on the same day when, you know, the new features will come out and then there'll be a production. And a lot of times the next production will line up with one of the new feature drivers. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that they're pretty much one and the same. Oh, you have to force upgrade? Huh. All right. I'll probably try to do that off camera. I'm not gonna waste everybody's time, but I will try that. I appreciate that insight. I'm going to do that on this rig after we're done here and see if that'll work. Where did you read that you did the force upgrade, or you just figured that when it failed the first time you did a force and it worked? If you know of any articles or anything like that, let me know. Oh, nice. 40 watching and 41 likes. I guess people just didn't want to stick around. Oh, well, hey, I got the likes at least. So that's a good thing. Yeah, I am still doing some flux, and I do plan on doing a little bit more flux. One thing to keep in mind is, you know, everybody was focused on the halving is the way I pronounce it, with the Raven coin, but flux is also halving at the beginning of March. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it, but yeah, they are having. So you have little time to mine flux before its rewards get cut in half. So yeah. Oh yeah. Depending on when you refresh, right now I'm seeing 39 as well, but it depends on when your particular viewer refreshes. It depends on how many viewers you actually see. What happened last week with Flux? I have been following it a little bit. I know that Flux pool, like the official pool, has had a lot of problems. And I was following that as far as the Flux problems overall. I saw them as relatively minor, and I didn't really have time to look into them, but they seemed like they got resolved quickly, you know, when it affected all pools. So, but yeah, I have not, I do not actually know exactly what happened. What I found interesting is that Flux, I'm on Flux's Discord, and there was one or two people that were really harping on spreading out the hash rate. They want people off of miner pools because it owns so much of the hash rate, which they have a point. It was just kind of the way they were making it, in my opinion. Instead of trying to plead with people's, you know, common sense, they were like ordering people. People, come on, get off of miner pools. Too much hash rate there. It was like an angry message. And like I said, that usually doesn't get results, and it certainly hasn't. And so I was like, okay, I get it. Why don't we get off of miner pools? Well, let me see what other information I can find as far as how other mining pools handle parallel assets. Because I like the way miner pools does it. I get paid out. I know how much I'm going to get paid out, 39% of my rewards. This all makes a ton of sense. So I'm trying to figure out where everybody else is at. And from what I can tell, it doesn't appear that anybody else other than Flux Pool pays out at the same rate as miner pools. But I don't want to go to Flux Pool because they just had all those problems. But 2Miners does not appear like they pay out as high. And there was another one I looked at. I can't remember what it was, but I could not find anywhere where they were as specific as miner pools is with this is what you're going to get. And I appreciate that. I want to know what my results are. And if somebody else says, well, it's variable, but overall you might get more. Well, fine, then show me or discuss it or whatever. No, everything else is, well, we take 20% of the parallel assets because, we have, if you look at how much all of our costs are for making that transaction, you understand why. Well, honestly, I don't really care why. I want to go with the one that's the most profitable. And if miner pools is the most profitable, then everybody else should basically get on the same train as them. And then once they do, people will go to the other pools. So that's my 2 cents anyway. Let's see what else. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I appreciate you letting me know about that Y2K Anonymous. Yeah, I didn't see that. Yeah, Ergo had its own problems as well. Yeah, I wasn't mining Ergo at the time, so again, that didn't affect me as well. All right, thanks. Thanks, Atomic Star. Work hard, study hard, have fun. Let's see. What's so funny? I saw at Atomic Star with somebody blowing a kiss, and I was like, who's doing that? And then I saw it was my wife. I was like, okay, that's cool. Which RTM pool? Any plans to switch? That's a great question. I am currently on Supernova. Why? Because that's where I started. It's really as simple as that. I have plans at some point to switch to O11. Why do I plan on switching to O11? Because I have spoken to the owner of that pool multiple times. He's helped me out with some things as well. But with all that said, I wasn't willing to go there when he was having problems. So from what I can tell, he's been very, very consistent, has figured out a bunch of things. And so he's a lot more stable. So I will be switching there. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But that's a great, great question. Again, please tag me. I happen to see that, but please tag me if you have a question for me. Yes, just went full dad mode. Yes, I did. Yes. As anybody that has a daughter, I'm sure you can understand how I would be protective of my daughter. Anyway, Jacob, you're at 011. Cool. What? 011 is ending soon. I did not read that. It's going down. Okay. Closing. Okay. And I guess in a way I can understand that because he was trying to build it up, but it was very difficult for him to make money. So anybody who says, hey, why don't you as a crypto YouTuber start your own pool? It's not easy. It's not easy to make money. Hell, it's not easy to break even. So yeah, it's very, very difficult to run a pool. There's a lot of risk involved. I know that Son of a Tech has talked about when he was doing it and then he had a problem and he wanted to make sure everybody was whole, but there went all of his profits. So basically did everything for free was kind of the way I interpreted what he said. So yeah, it's not easy and there's a ton of risk. And if you care, you always want to make sure you make your customers whole, but that can be at the detriment of yourself. So anyway, I know that he was changing to another provider for his infrastructure that was going to save him some money, but maybe it just didn't do it enough. So anyway, say Pearl Rival, saving that for next time. I oughta. Anyway, but thanks for the information about O11. You can tell, like I said, I kind of set it on Supernova and I've just forgotten about it. Basically, I look at the results, but I don't pay super close attention to it. I just basically, I am an iNodes, and I'm constantly about maybe once or twice a week transferring my stuff from Trade Ogre into iNodes so that I am gaining additional Raptorium that way as well. Big Wooly. Sorry I didn't make it back until the end. That's all right. It was really peaceful without you. Then rebuilding your desktop. Yeah, you know what? One thing I do need to do is I need to change where I have my mic. I don't need to when you say rebuild your desktop, you mean your actual desktop or your desktop computer? I'm guessing you mean your desktop computer. Raheem, thank you. For February 12th, I'm guessing what he means is the date that O11 is closing. Well, okay, so Taylor Webb, my understanding is that anybody doing parallel assets will also pay the unannounced parallel assets later as well. So I don't think that that's a difference. It's just a matter of how much of those parallel assets will you earn, and how much will be gone due to fees. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't need any protecting. She will kick your butt. Yes, she will. She's one tough cookie. That is for sure. With CPU mining down, GPU profits down, etc., I moved a bunch of CPUs around and eliminated one CPU only rig, put a better CPU in it, did my first AIO. Nice. Which AIO did you use? I know I've got a EK AIO in my computer, which I love. In fact, that's the one that's in my banner. That's the computer that I use all the time. What does pool hash rate mean on Gminer? Okay, so pool hash rate means the same on everything. So you have your actual hash rate, but then you have your effective hash rate, which is due to luck. And also it's affected by a few things, but it's also affected by so when they say that they're going to take a 1% dev fee, that means that they're going to take 1% of the time that you're mining and mine to the dev wallet. That's what that means. That's how they do it. Okay. So if you're looking at pool hash rate, then you have to take into account the dev fee and luck, both. So that's another way to evaluate pools, is how close are you actually to your reported hash rate? It's one of the things I've just recently noticed with 2Miners. The difference between 2Miners and Ethermine. Now again, reporting can be faked, but assuming that everybody's on the up and up, I find that my reported hash rate to my actual hash rate is much closer on 2Miners than it is on Ethermine. Let me see if I can pull this up and not dox myself here. Let me do this. Here's what I'll do. Just going to resize this window and only pull up the information I want you to see. There we go. Of course, right now you get the idea what the average is. So the current says 1.67, which again, it's going to vary a lot. But the average hash rate right now is better than the reported hash rate, which is not really a true thing because I was mining on this computer, as well as, I think another reported hash rate. Yeah, it's only missing the hash rate from this computer. So this would be a little bit higher. But before I started getting ready for the stream, this was up at like 2.14. The current hash rate was like 2.14. My average hash rate was at 1.94. And my reported hash rate was at 1.94. And this average is over 24 hours. It's over a 24-hour time span, as I understand it. So that is very good to see that so close to the reported hash rate. So that's what I found. All right. Now let me get this back to my other screen that I was on, so I can get back to the stream and see the chat again. Yes, I'm having trouble finding here. Let me just do this. Now I can find it. Yeah. Is that it? Nope. There it is. Okay. All right. Have I considered, well, here, let me go. Oh, yeah, I already answered that question. Have you considered going back to Monero Ocean? Rabbit appears to be stating 30% increase in daily profit. Probably, I don't know. I've stated a number of times, mine what's the most profitable and then transfer into what you really want. So I guess that's what I should be doing, but I'll take a look at it. Like I said, it's not a huge amount of profit. I mean, we're talking difference of maybe like I don't know, 50 cents to $1 a day. I've only got my 5600X and a 5950X running on it. So it won't be a huge difference, but I will relook at it. Right now I'm enjoying kind of, being involved in inodes and that type of thing. So I'm doing it more of a, like a kind of like spec mining. It's a project I believe in. I think it could do well. So we'll see what actually happens. All right, Big Wooly, just a piece of advice. If you ever fully rebuild your desktop computer and want pictures, take them before you put the glass side panel on. And you have a Lian Li Galahad AIO 360. Why do I have the glass on when I took those pictures? Probably. Anyway, I took those pictures a long time ago. I will get a new banner on there. I just haven't gotten around to doing that, as well as many other things to make the channel kind of more professional, I guess. But anyway, we shall see where that takes us as well. Let's see, what else am I missing? Pearl Rival. Good God. That's a lot of tabs. Yes, I have a lot of tabs. And I will tell a little story here. Yes, Big Willie's going, oh, great. Story time with Max again. So, yes, I have a lot of tabs. I had 16 gig of memory, and I don't restart my computer a lot. So I was finding that after a certain period of time of having, over 100 tabs, the computer wouldn't like it too much. So instead of controlling my habit of having a lot of tabs, I decided to upgrade the memory to 32 gig, and my problem went away. Or at least the problem of having the computer lag because it was running out of memory go away. So yes, I have, you know how some people have a problem buying too many GPUs? Yeah, I have a problem with too many tabs. So, and what you were looking at wasn't even all the tabs, because I have tabs grouped underneath. So I've got all my mining grouped under one tab, that when I move that over and you saw tabs, and if you're looking at like, I don't even know what you guys don't see the tabs here, but when I brought that window over, yeah, you don't even see half the tabs, because I had 5 groups, 5 things that were grouped together. And there were a bunch of tabs off to the side that you weren't even seeing because the window was made smaller. So I'm proud of my tab addiction. So there's no change in me on that. Anyway, Big Wooly, I'm talking about mine. My desk is a mess and it's all you can see in the first pictures I took. Oh, got it. Yeah, I actually, if you go back and watch the beginning of the stream, I accidentally switched to a different camera, my webcam, instead of my ZR, my Sony camera, and my ZV-1. And yeah, my desk wasn't a complete mess, but it was a little messy. Oh yeah, and I got, oh, that was the other thing. So yeah, my wife just reminded me. So also I had two 1080p monitors, and I was like, you know, I could have more tabs on a 1440p monitor. So yeah, I got a 1440p monitor, 27-inch 1440p monitor. And then I liked that one so much that I got another one. So anyway, and Big Wooly and I both have stories about how our second monitors are basically free. So anyway, that's a whole other story through Amazon, and it was of no fault of our own. We were like, why are you doing that? And they all had their own reasons as to why they needed to do whatever they needed to do in that way. Anyway, case back. I'm guilty. I use multiple screens with tabs on separate windows. Yeah, I'm actually already planning. Right now I have the two monitors side by side, horizontal. Eventually, I plan on getting another 27-inch monitor, having that one be vertical, and then having these two on top of each other. That's the plan. But I can't, at this point, cannot rationalize buying a third monitor at this point. So, all right. Yes, Chromium is memory hungry, no question. I love Linus's video where he actually tries to find out if he can actually crash. I forget how much memory it was. It was more than 128 gig. I don't remember how much it was, but he wanted to know how many tabs he could open before Chrome crashed. It was hilarious. All righty. Taylor Webb, fellow tab addict, recently got into desktop instances, up to about 4 of those at a time now. Yeah. Oh, you're actually doing multiple desktop instances. Yeah, I'm not doing that, but for those people that want to share my addiction, like if I wanted to group all of the things, which is really just 2 things, if I wanted to group these 2 things together, you right click. Yeah, you guys can see that. You right click one of the tabs and add tab to new group. And let's call this Sunday. And it's now part of that. And then you just drag that over there. Now these 2 are part of it. And if I want to close it, now I've closed that group. I just can reopen it whenever I want. But if I'm not interested in anything having to do with SundaeSwap, closed it is. So it's a great way to save space if you are a tab addict like I am. So hopefully that helps somebody. Obviously, the other option is to have multiple desktop instances as well. Got 2 monitors and a 40-inch TV above all connected. And I got another monitor coming. Yeah. Lot of real estate. Love having a lot of real estate. Yeah. I can't even get my wife to get a second monitor. I'm like encouraging her, use a second monitor. Once you go to 2 monitors, you'll never go back. You'll never know what you don't know what you're missing. And anyway, both me and my daughter have tried to convince her that to get a second monitor. Cracks me up. Alrighty, guys. Well, I have been rambling on here for about an hour and 15 minutes. I think I will let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. He has a problem. See, I missed step 1, or I'm not even at step 1 of the 12-step program because I am not recognizing that I have a problem. Yeah, actually, K-Spec, when I'm at work, I have actually 2 monitors, and then I also use my laptop because those are only 1080p monitors. Actually, my left monitor at work isn't even a 1080p monitor. It's narrower. So it's like, instead of being 1980 by 1920 by 1080p, it's like 1600 something by 1080p. It's really goofy. Been trying to get my boss to get me a new monitor. Well, speaking of bigger desk, yeah, we're actually sometime in the next couple of months, I'll actually be moving my setup into the den, and we'll probably be sharing a desk with my wife. Now it's going to be a long desk. We're each going to have our own space on that desk, but the overall space I'll have will be similar to what I've got now, which is fine. I don't really need more space. I'll only junk it up anyway. So yeah. Anyway, but I'm looking forward to that. I definitely will take out, I don't know if you guys can notice, but there is plenty of echo in here. And we will, and it being a smaller room, there certainly won't be anywhere near the amount of echo. And we'll put some foam up on the walls and things so that it deadens it even more. So we'll see how that goes. Plus we have some curtains in there that also take up some of the sound. So yeah, looking forward to that. That probably won't be, I don't know, February, March timeframe, I'm guessing. Wife wants to paint the room first, so we shall see how soon that happens. But again, thank you all very, very much. Yes, in the tree. Yeah, I know you guys always keep bringing up stuff, and then I have to comment, and then I don't end the stream. So stop commenting. Yes, no Christmas tree. The tree did disappear. You guys all pressured my wife into taking it down. I hope you're proud of yourself. Anyway, we do enjoy the tree, but yeah, it was time. But anyway, we usually have it up a little bit longer, but my wife was concerned that I might lose some subscribers. And I said, I really don't care if I lose subscribers over a tree. Seriously. But anyway, she took it down, and now we get a little bit more room in the dining room and such. So, alrighty, I'm not going to look at the chat as to what you guys are saying to distract me from ending the stream this time. But again, thank you so much all for coming. I really, really appreciate you all. And you guys all have a great night.